I feel like this map is a little bit too much in your face. When we talk about Plano wanting to get those duels, FURIA is really good on this map. I think they do a really good job with map control in general. That Mirage pick from Plano as well, I think that's the safest route that they have. Maybe we go in as well. They've only played that once so far this event, but they looked really good on it versus Team 1. And then leading into Nuke. I do agree. I do think that Nuke will look better for them on that T side, just solely because FURIA is a little bit more of an aggressive team. And I think that the time issue might not be as apparent versus a team like FURIA compared to anyone else. But we'll see. Vertigo first, FURIA starting on that T side, and we are live.
Yeah, no waiting around. Quick sandbags Molly pushes Henny out of position, and FURIA set up for this A-site explosion. There are 3 CTs here with Lucas tucked in on the short side. The brothers in arms playing a bomb site together as often is the case. Oh, and KNG is trapped out short while he can, but he's not got much room to move. Vinny keeps him trapped, and that's the same story for Lucas as well, who won't live long either. Bombs loose, VSM helping out, Henny jumping up. It's an absolute brawl on this A-site, and even with a mid-flank, Junior needs to activate faster. Both CTs are here. He's walking with his knife out. He will have the backstab. No one is fighting for FURIA. They're waiting for Junior to activate, and he's been spotted.
Oh no, this could still go so wrong. Junior is suddenly all on him. Oh my. His 2 teammates in the site both get charged down, and he might face the same fate, Junior. Oh, this is not nice. This is not good. This could not have gone more wrong. And there it is. He's finally brought to his knees. Henny gonna lock in the pistol. And I tell you what, man, we already know Plano is a very, very hyped team. I can tell you now that every single round that they take off of FURIA is gonna be one these guys are celebrating.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mess, man. What the late flank, and I don't know what happens after Junior gets spotted, but both FURIA players who are tucked in just wide swing, take a fight, and they both fall. Quite the predicament for Junior.
Well, it was smart for Plano too, because they actually pushed the bomb site there when they realized that Junior is in the flank, so they decided to pick the fight elsewhere, maybe realizing that FURIA members towards that A ramp was a little bit lower compared to what Junior would be. But expect more and more things like that, and that was one of the things I was going to bring up again. You know, with Plano, the teams that we have seen these guys play against so far this event have been a little bit less, I guess, not necessarily skillful. They're obviously very good on the server shooting headshots, but in terms of execution and stuff like that, I think FURIA does provide another level when it comes to these flank games. Junior flank from mid, hitting the bomb sites. I think we can expect more of that in the future from FURIA. For Plano, you kind of have to be mindful of that.
Right now, it's hot potato with the Deagle. Vinny got a kill, he got traded, now Keserato's taking it. And they're going to boost him up. I love this boost as well. Fun fact, you don't need to crouch there as the second player. Keserato can just jump on your head from the railing, and he can even jump up on this B site as well from this position. Headshot angle dealt with by Leo, and it's a 2-on-4. Oh, Yuri dropped his Glock looking for the Deagle, and I think the Deagle fell off the map. Did he also throw his Glock off? It does seem like it. Yuri, he's found one at least. But I mean, it won't make much difference, knife or Glock in this round. It should be a 2-0, nice and easy for Plano.
This is why they need to bring throwing knives into CS, I think.
That would be fun. Don't
It's
give
long
them any
overdue.
ideas.
Would it though?
It's long overdue.
Not if
If
they
you
were
do
one
have
hit,
it-
you know?
I mean, if
Give
you
the
do have
kids
it
what
though,
they
you
want.
can't. Yeah, I mean, you have to go and pick it up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
give it one
exactly.
try.
It's a one use.
like a
If you
Zeus.
get a headshot, it's a kill. If it gets a body shot, it does nothing. Virtually
It's a
nothing.
projectile. That's,
But do you
Yeah,
get
it's a
knife
projectile.
kill reward? Like,
No,
do you get
no.
1500?
Yeah, if you land a headshot, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get a
Oh.
knife kill reward if you land a headshot with a throwing knife. And so you put that in the game. You put in dances. You need to be able to dance when you get a kill, like other FPS games.
And then let
Get some
everyone
taunts
build.
in there.
If you punch trees, you get to build a massive tower and just keep building it higher and higher and higher and higher until no one can even catch you.
Yeah,
Then you win the round from surviving.
That's what the tech pause is now. They're implementing my changes here at Beyond the Summit. Perhaps even put the dances behind some sort of paywall.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, Valve love money. And so, Richard, I think now you're talking their language, right?
Yep, I've got my phone on, actually. I'm waiting for Gabe. He's going to call me up and be like, Richard, I've never been interested in Counter-Strike.
Anything you've had to say. But,
oh, indeed, anything you've had to say, yes. I think you're worse than that too, good guy, honestly. But Now that you've opened my eyes to the possibilities of dances unlocked for $1 per dance.
I'm gonna nay after every clutch, and y'all can't stop me.
That is awful. Don't put the nay in there. I want good dances only. I'm thinking break dancing, like.
Okay, yeah.
That kind of thing.
It would be cool if there was like an element of interactivity to it, like it's like you have to use, oh dude, what's that game called? Just Dance, you know, like where you have to like push the buttons. Oh, hang on a moment.
Yeah, we'll come about the camera, guys.
I better sit down. Hang on.
Robin wished for one thing today, and one thing only. What was that, Robin?
Put your clothes on, Harry.
No, what I wish for was fantastic Counter-Strike without that many issues. So we'll see if it gets resolved here shortly. I'm sure it will be. One thing we didn't get to talk about was the odds from Vibet.
That is
favorites
true.
from Furia there as well. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Just right on time.
I mean, in reality, as much as we want this game to be like super exciting and competitive, I do have to say, I think if Furia were to lose this one, they're going to be doubly disappointed, right? I mean, the problem is, when I made a video about this on another website that I work for, I was talking Furia. I don't think they know what their best maps are. They seem to have, out of all of the top teams, they do have the weakest map pool, in my opinion, and they really struggle when you take them to areas they're not comfortable on. Like I actually think on Nuke, for example, even though they've played a lot of it, I don't think they've got appreciably better on it. I think it's a bit of a coin toss map for them whenever I've seen them. So, I think I never know which Fury is going to turn up when they play,
Yeah, man, it is a little bit sad. I think this is like a product of the times, right? Like ever since they've brought Junior in and we've seen them increase the level of like international competition they're attending, I feel like we kind of lost sight of like the Furia that we had towards the end of 2020, right? Like the 2020 Furia, man, was a scary team. Like, let me tell you, they were dominating NA. It was just a question of like, yeah, you can beat all the other teams, but Furia are just going to slap you. That's kind of what it started to feel like, right? Then you have like the Henny departure. That obviously throws a huge spanner in the works. You have them going international for the first few times. They went to that Blast, if you remember, and they just got like bashed out. And this was after there was a lot of hype around them dominating in NA. So I feel like that kind of knocked the confidence a little bit, right? And it's been like this whole journey trying to get back to where they once were with now new pieces of the puzzle. And I think it was never going to be easy. Like you didn't make the easiest change. And so I imagine Furia know that. You didn't go find some other Portuguese speaking AWPer, bring him in, right, and like try and build that up. No, man, you look to NA, you look to America, you bought over Junior. So it was going to be a challenge. You got to try and build up from it. And I think the pressure's really on here. I think a lot of people are expecting Furia to win, and I think they're expecting themselves to win. So it's a very unique situation for Furia right now.
Yeah, I think as well for Junior, everyone was so happy for him when he got this call up. If you know all the people who've seen him around in MDL, he was a guy who grinded for a while and like teams that didn't achieve sort of any notoriety. And, people were like, he feels like the guy that can go and play in Tier 1. And then obviously no one is truly ready to go and play in Tier 1 straight away when you've been grinding away in Tier 2. It takes time to learn, and how much. I don't think you get a lot of time these days, especially if you're an AWPer. It's like one of the hardest roles to just immediately hit the ground running and have everyone praise you, right?
Yeah,
I feel like we talked. So I was just going to lean on what Harry said there as well with the Furia, end of 2020, but I also feel like they slumped the beginning of 2020, and they had kind of the same trajectory, good end of 2019. One of the things that, and I always lead back into, is NBK. This is actually a summit, probably Summit 6 or something at this point. Vitality had been live for 6 months. The performances were not quite there 6-7 months, but he said the same thing, right? And I think that's what people kind of forget as well, that it takes time for these teams to mesh. Even if, to you guys' point, it's just the one player, but it is a different language. It is a very important role in the team as well as that primary AWPer. We're not talking about, a Bentet here with a rifle that's running around just shooting headshots, right? Like, you have to give it time to give this guy enough comfort within the team so that it actually starts to mesh. And if you were to base it up what NBK said, they actually went on there at that same event. They ended up winning that. So benchmark there around 6 to 8 months, right? for FURIA as well, the playstyle that they have, because it is so aggressive, it needs to fit, it needs to work, right? Otherwise it just looks puggy. Oh, it's just running around dying. Like, the reason why FURIA is so good is because they have all of these things that make it work. There's a reason why Art can run around the way he does, because there's so much movement elsewhere. So I think for FURIA, they need some time here. They spent a lot of time in Europe, but I do think a little bit more time. Let's refine the maps. Even to you guys' point about Nuke, I think when you have an aggressive team like FURIA, same thing. We have to revamp the map a little bit more. We have to reinvest ourselves a little bit in the map and see what else we could be doing, because people figure out the aggression, right? It doesn't mean you can stop playing aggressive. You just have to. It just means you have to figure it out and do it, in some other sense, shape, or form. And that's the process we see FURIA in right now. I believe. It's the rebuild stage.
Yeah, and even to jump back on the point about Junior, right? Like, yeah, okay, he was wrecking in NA. Maybe he's been more consistent since joining FURIA, but as Harry said, on the lead up, this guy was crazy good. But hey, you talk about Richard molding a tier two player, a player playing in the tier 2 scene to being a tier 1 player. Well, coming over to Europe, not only all the problems we talked about in terms of language, in terms of fitting in there, and everything along with joining FURIA, but the level of competition is massively different, right? So yeah, fair enough. It will take Junior some time to adapt and overcome the problems. But despite all that, I think, while FURIA have had inconsistencies, they've lost series in Europe that maybe they shouldn't. They've also, even in recent times, taken some huge wins. They've 2-0'd Astralis, they 2-0'd G2, they 2-0'd Vitality as well. This is all in the last couple of months in Europe. So yeah, it's a tough time to step up and move from NA, where it's going to be a lot more free and it's a lot more on you just hitting your shots, like that Liquid clip you talked about, Harry, to a punishing region like EU, where everything's going to be perfect, everything's going to be calculated. The util's a lot harder to get by. So yeah, we gotta give them time, I would assume, but you can't expect them to lose this game. They kind of need to win it for every reason we've said. And right now down 0-2, but that's certainly helpful. VSM falls off the wood, and KSerato catches him at B. Luckily enough, KNG keeps things even on that A site.
We note though, FURIA first weapon, or as KSerato just opens up this B bomb site by himself. What I was gonna say, based on utility, there's not a lot of flashbangs here on FURIA, so a lot of dry peeks needs to happen. There is a lot of supporting nades, still, like the mollies and the smokes. I agree though, like, even if they are in a slump, absolutely this is not a game that you should be losing, right? The FURIA, clear favorites heading into this. I think for us the question mark is really, how good can Plano really be against these top 10, top 20 opponents?
Yeah, something I always think as well is that, like, this Plano squad, a lot of their strats, boil down to getting bailed out by having great individual players. And I think one of the reasons why FURIA was such an exciting Brazilian team was that they have a perfect, like, kind of matrimony between a very unique and defined style that they call that is damn unique to them, right? They make it work in a way that other teams just can't. And on top of that, you've got fantastic individuals here as well. So I think FURIA might relish in the chance to play a bit more individualistic, right? They might lean into that Plano kind of strat a little bit more. And, as we saw from KSerato there, he's got no issue with going out on his own and securing a round win just on the back of getting the entries up into B. I think we're in for a blinder of a game. I think that little tech pause has duped you all into, slowing down a little bit. Maybe not as excited now as you were 10 minutes ago, but you couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah, I like this default. FURIA giving respect to the utility on the A site. They're waiting the smoke, they're waiting the mollies. KSerato's just defaulting B in all around. That's a nice little molly. Trap KSerato, great idea for Lucas. Saw what he saw last round, right? And finally got his vengeance after VSM dropped B. Oh, it's a dink as well. Vinny getting tagged down, needs to be very careful. KNG has pushed mid on a big flank as well. No fear for the Plano squad. They're even in T-spawn. They're everywhere. FURIA have no idea what has been taken away from them. Vinny's trying to rotate. KNG might get backstabbed, but if he gets there in time, he can kill.
Oh, Vinny saw him.
Yeah.
Vinny saw him.
Still gets a frag. He won't get any more. Vinny's so close on the flank, and now Leo cutting off that rotate out of A. It's a mess.
I talk a lot about that, especially when you have, this is what I meant with even on a map like Nuke, when you talk about people figuring you out, right? Especially when it is a map that you've been playing a lot, people are smart enough to this point where they start to realize, even rotates, and start to realize, oh, they're running this setup, like that means that this area should be completely open. And see how much space Plano gets there. They're not only taking over B, but they're taking over mid at the same time. They're very quick on that, even if FURIA realizes one of the players, they're not expecting the second. Really nice round here by Plano. They win it back.
Yeah, even seeing the fact that K-Serato's defaulting B on his own and mollying him and getting the kill, like that's info that FURIA could just be, you know, this solo man B, and they're waiting behind the A ramp smoke. Well, that's exactly what they're doing. Mid is free, and that needs to be something that FURIA keep their eyes on right in the mid round. Not letting those ladder flanks come in, unless they want to go fast and just beat them to the punch. That works too. They've run past a rifle though. The smoke has provided cover for Henny, and his Molotov has burned out another. KNG is here to join the party. And Henny's blown out all the birthday candles. Goodbye, FURIA. 4 frags. Man. Easy stuff.
He's even dancing now. Okay, we're in trouble, guys.
It's scary if they start strong, right? Because they're not going to let off the gas.
Seeing Henny just mercilessly, like, gun down all the FURIA, that's a bit like, you know, when Anakin turns on
the children?
Obi-Wan. Oh, okay. All the children. But, you know, you don't have to touch upon that one, I don't think. Yeah, man, it just
also
makes me a bit emotional.
When Peter Yarrow turned on.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew.
Come in for assembly, younglings. Got a song for you.
Yeah, man.
All the way in Vietnam as well. It wasn't even...
Not even just down the road.
I was in Vietnam.
Mike will never know the gift he's given us. Yeah. That story, man.
Well, FURIA have got the top ramp. That much is assured. Henny's going to back out. Gets given a second chance at life. The util's in. 4 CTs here for FURIA, or for Plano rather for FURIA to eat. One by one, Lucas falls, and suddenly Plano is smoked off. Lovely spray from Henny. Art just gets ruined through that smoke. Junior responds at least. Bomb not getting planted yet, and it certainly will help the VSM's been killed through the smoke, as now a 2-on-4 ensues with a flank from Leo. They're going to be aware of it. Look how wary they are to peek back down the ramp. They're going to double face when Junior has contact, but Leo might never go. It's looking like an impossibility here for Plano.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe our retake setup would have been a little bit better. They didn't have that much nades from Plano side, but neither did FURIA. We saw even for coming into this buy round, did not have a full set of nades, just very short on that, not even an AWP, so they have to kind of swing on the one smoke. They do end up landing on that A-bomb site. A lot of money here though from Plano, so sure, saving 2 weapons definitely helps, but it is going to be a full buy here again. FURIA would have to answer to. We have a timeout. No AWP yet on either side. But Plano can afford actually even 2 this round if they want. So maybe that's what the timeout's for. Try and figure this out. There's the 1 ops, there's the 2 AWPs. What's the setup we want to be running? And here we go. Just the 1 on KNG. An AD fault.
Oh, look, you got this all peeking down. KNG holding for this man who's made it across. Finding out about this AWP, you might have to pay the price to get this information. Oh, KNG has missed these timings. It's actually going to be Lucas sniping that first man out. Queserato rushes him down, and a missed shot from KNG gives you a little bit of room. Now you know about this orb. It wasn't a missed shot, rather. He did get it. I was just late. Oh, a third for KNG. Never mind. Ramp's closed, Furia. Run away. Vinny's gotten up short as the lone survivor. Deals with the first, but now they know that he's here. The element of surprise is gone. The molly heats things up for the man at Sandbags, but he's got reinforcements moved in. It's old mate Henny versus Vinny. Oh dear. Leo's going to get the better of him, and Plano lock in that round. A big one out of KNG.
Yeah, again, fighting for the A control. Furia maybe not expecting Plano to be fighting as aggressively as they were. Just the default smokes down there to get scaffolding area, and then peek, or try rather, to peek on the AWP. But Lucas getting the first one through the smoke really opens up that whole A bomb site. Allows KNG to just be very aggressive in that A ramp. Not expecting anyone to be shooting him from the other side.
Furia are masters of the economy, or at least masters of making money with nothing. Couple of AKs in this round, keeping their economy leveled out though with an eco. But these rounds, man, they're so good at winning them. Even the rounds where you have Art on the orb as you're surrounded by pistols, or I guess Junior in that case as well. Somehow scary consistency at converting those rounds. So watch out for these AKs. One's boosted in middle. Yuri looking for that pick. KNG drops a molly, and they drop off the boost anyway. Furia might not be assaulting mid in this round. They don't have the util to get past that AWP. Grouping instead towards the A site. Henny's on that very dangerous wall-bangable boost spot. He's also low, so he needs to be careful in this one. Short side is covered. But he can't afford to bait super hard by hiding in the corner, right, with his teammate out in the open to the site. There needs to be good communication here from Henny on what he's doing, when he's peeking, and whether he's letting them up so Lucas can be aware. Here come Furia, contact as ever, about to explode.
Yeah, I mean, no nades here from Furia, so this, in terms of position-wise, probably the best case that you want for Henny here. It's a one-and-done kind of position, right? You should only be getting, I say that, but there's 3 here. He gets 2. But if the shots are crispy, maybe he just gets the 1 and it opens up the bomb site.
Ooh, there was a bit of an error there, right? I think Lucas thought KNG was covering the run-up into the bomb site. He gets sideswept out of the round, but VSM's there to close it out regardless. Deals with both the remaining players. KNG never even needed, and VSM, as you can see, taking this very, very well. Plano up onto 6. The waters are in. We're getting hydrated over here. A little pause for Furia. They're not happy with this scoreline, and you can't say you blame them. Plano are running away with this game.
Yeah, it's early days, but it does seem that way, doesn't it? And I mentioned this earlier, but you really don't want to let these guys get hyped early. That could come crushing down on you. And every round of Furia lose, they're sitting there thinking, wait, what? We can't be losing these rounds. We can't be dropping the ball here. Don't want them to get in their own heads at this point in the game. It's very early days in a BO3 series for Plano. Look up for the task. And, you know, we've seen highs and lows from Plano, but we also have seen them playing up to the level of their opponent, which, you know, is a great sign against Furia in good form. So
yeah, even in this matchup as well, right? Plano, it's not like they're playing defensive. They're taking the fight to Furia, continuing on with this kind of aggression. We kind of see they want to fight for the map. But I think this one we talk about as well, you know, the different kind of momentum. Sure, Furia is a very aggressive team, but they can also slow it down a little bit if they do realize that Plano is playing it very aggressive. You know, that's the... What was that? What was that? I don't understand! What?
Those shots were absolutely... I don't have a word to describe it. Clinical. What? Jumping
I mean, scroll wheel jump accidentally.
And still 3 bullets
Yeah.
his opponent.
That wasn't clinical. That would be like if your heart surgeon was like spinning himself round a bunch before attempting it. There was a lot of style in that from Lucas.
I don't know what to make of that.
They still want to commit to this A play. They still want to go into this site. All 3 players here for Plano, and they're just holding their ground. If FURIA do want to commit, they've got to be true with the aim. And Vinny, while he's good for the trade, still 2 more up. It's Henny and VSM at the short side there to lock the round in. VSM is like just like a brick wall of a human being, man. Like, no matter where you're putting this guy, what can you say about that? What can you say about that?
Why would he burst midair? I don't get it. Someone explain.
Oh, listen, he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
so maybe
clearly.
we should be asking him how he does it instead, not why.
Jumping and shooting and winning. Oh my. Fast B, this worked earlier for FURIA. Art's trying to lead the charge with this Mac 10. It's a half buy, so they can afford to lose this one, but they'd love to get a pump plant and take some damage out, set themselves up. There's a 1-for-1 with Vinny going down. VSM has done some damage, and Art doesn't want to swing further than the double box. He might have to. The mollies come in. He escapes for now. Leo's here, hiding behind default as well, and no one's crossed in. They're going to give it another go with no flash. It's like lambs to the slaughter. 2-on-1 now. Late lurk out mid. KNG. Oh, he had to hit that, and now Keserato with a chance. He's got a gun.
It was him who in the last B play was the man to make it happen. Right now he's got to do it again, does Keserato. This time, just Leo left to find.
Oh. This is nice because Keserato is so patient in this 1v1 that Leo's got all the time in the world to wrap. He's not even going up ladder. He's going to A. Oh, no, sorry. The minimap confused me. But even so, this is a perfect play. By the time Keserato starts moving in, Leo could just be playing stairs for all he knows. Keserato's considering
He does have, yeah, he knows.
Oh.
He snips it. I was gonna say it's all on the timing though.
Wow. So decisive. Like when you're in that one-on-one, if you want to make that play, you can't hesitate. You have to go right for it. You have to immediately start moving on the flank. And so Leo 10-3, and he's not even really been the guy we've been talking about. KNG's had some banging shots, even though he misses that 1v1 there. And Lucas with some crazy kills as well. 8-2, FURIA, big buy round here. They need to show something.
Yeah, and we're back to A, just with the 2 though. Should be on timing, and then bomb is also in mid. So we'll see what they decide to here. If it's an A split, or if it's more so of a fake and then head over to B.
Yuri's looking for the boost. Meanwhile, he's getting walked through a smoke. No one mid, though. VSM's still in spawn. He's keeping an eye on this one, but they can walk over connector, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Oh, yeah, that bomb cut loose in middle by VSM. Oh, that could prove to be the undoing of FURIA. They've got to go back and get it, and right now, Art is a long way away. Wow. Leo, head on a swivel, and look at how hyped this guy is, man. Like, you know, we spoke to Plano a lot. They've talked at great lengths about how excited they get in these games. Well, this is one where you know that every round they get is a mini celebration, especially as this scoreline is getting more and more dire for FURIA. This is the best Plano have looked, I've got to say as well. Like, you know, we talk about playing at the level of your opponent. This is a map, this is a series that they really want to win, and that is reflected in the gameplay right now. VSM holding on to middle. He's about to have a bunch of players come his way, but I couldn't think of someone you'd rather for this spot than VSM, man. This is the perfect candidate, the perfect spot. He does have support from Leo as well, right, available to come into mid pretty quickly. But he's just moved off the angle.
Yeah, FURIA have found a lot of really nice late mid timings in this game, right? As much as we've had that benefit of Plano with aggression, like FURIA have always come in on these lurks, and well, that certainly helps. Lucas pushing down bottom A ramp, and the 1AK gets an opening kill. KNG needs to hit these. They're getting closer, but he's only got one in the cannon. Yuri trades a free AWP for FURIA and a man up, while Art lurks B. It couldn't have gone better for them in this round. Everyone is now armed. They came into it with 2 guns.
Yeah, and that's where around where Plano's aggression kind of bites them a little bit. Maybe not expecting FURIA to be playing that defensive. We saw them fall back as well. They were going to take over mid, but I think because they got maybe the call that they have, Plano have pushed down A, they decided to fall back at least. But yeah, a round that was not looking winnable, all of a sudden looks very winnable. 4-on-2 situation, bomb down. No nades left though for FURIA. The same could be said for Plano, so probably just hopeful, wishful thinking here. Trying to see if they can get the one quick kill. Maybe they'll go for it. Still a very unwinnable situation here for VSM. It's going to require both of these two FURIA players to kind of peak at the same time, and while it does happen, he doesn't land the shots. And that's 3 on the board for FURIA.
Yeah, just patient, right? They get fed a couple of kills, and that does great effect. Rare to see FURIA run such slow rounds, right? With so little map control, but it baits Plano into pushing. Now we've got another force here. Well, I say another. It's the first time Plano have been struggling for money this game. We've got a single M4. Now FURIA start to kick the pace up a notch. Lucas going to meet them on the ramp. He's pushed down through the smoke, but it's Art on the other side. Henny with a rifle. A lot to do for him in this round, but if there were any man for the job.
Ooh, this timing of the push needs to be good. He's dropped the bomb at the back of the pack, and Henny still fighting from the short side. Finally brought to his knees from the flank from Yuri. There is time for this rotation to come in, right? That bomb hasn't crossed into the site just yet, but a couple of missed shots out of VSM. And with it, any hope of winning this round potentially, you know, out the window now. Just Leo left alive. And while he has given us a great game, this 1v3 with an MP9, this is one that I can almost assure you FURIA are not going to let him sneak past. So stumbling back to their feet, right? Looking to move on to a 4th round and breaking the money of Plano. Still in with a chance to finish out this half with something to go on, right? Moving into the second half of play.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a 9-6 half now all of a sudden. That's what I was leaning towards as well when I was talking about FURIA, the change of pace, right? To be able to swap in a slow round in between these aggressive rounds. And I think that's the worry that if you are an Plano fan or even an Plano player, like that's the worry that you kind of have, right? Of, okay, where do we find the opportunity to call a timeout and just call, hey, listen, now they're also playing defensive. We shouldn't be pushing as much as we are. We should just be holding spots. Let them come to us now. But we look at the money, and it's round number 14. Even for next round for Plano, they're not going to have a lot of money to be working with. So at least the work that FURIA has been doing the start of this map starting to pay off and resetting Plano's money. I like this from Plano as well. It's an eco. Let's gamble. No point in playing 2-1-2 or anything. And we look for Plano to maybe get some kills here, save a weapon or two. It's best case.
Oh, I like that. Case Rotter's in front of where the flash usually pops. It was thrown above and behind, so it did nothing to him. Leo just dies early. But they know there's still another player in mid. At least A is getting gambled away from. Henny has just kept his eyes on it from middle. And there's a triple B set up here with a default pistol and the P250s. Really, even if Furia walk into this stack, they're not going to have too much of a tough time as long as some grenades go in, right? Molly's to the back, something on default, a Jenny smoke, and that can go a long way here on this B bomb site. They're moving in, Mollies are down, back site is still a position to be careful of, but these pistols aren't too much of a threat. There they go, one by one, getting demolished, and it's only Henny on the wrong side of the map.
Yep. Good job for Furia there. Have plenty of nades to use, so no point. It's kind of the same for Inferno, right? Late round, when you have all the nades, why not do a fully fledged execute? Especially heading into the last round, you have the money for it.
I would have loved to have seen Henny, you know, slow it down in that 1v5, try to get a kill with the MP9. Would have made all the difference between him having an AWP in this round and not, right? Could have dropped one into play.
Yeah, it would be the first time this half we would have seen a double op setup as well. I think Henny has been playing that M4 mostly with KNG, picking up that AWP. And this is the kind of round we look at even for Plano's utility. It's the same setup here for Henny, but not a lot of utility for Plano. So even a retake, we wouldn't be seeing that. We should be seeing some mid-round aggression. Need to be fishing for a kill here at least.
Well, Lucas has cast a line, and he's hanging on to the rod behind the sandbags. Hoping something pulls, but they have so many mollies, and already one has gone through. No one's trying to play off of this. They just let him cross out for free. At least in the back of their minds, they know they don't need to clear this position. And Lucas never saw how many players are up on A ramp. That's why we still have mid-control and a double B setup for Plano, but they've been very good at putting numbers on this A site when it is clear, and it will be in this last round of the half. Furia lining up another execute, having to clear the short side on the way. This has been a difficult position for them to get through on the A site, and Henny is back on this boost spot. Will Junior see him with the AWP? It doesn't look like it. Molly going over the site, Henny peeking, Junior with the kill, and short is cleared out by Art. This is the best A take we've seen yet from Furia.
Yeah, KNG is here as the first responder. He's lost his only teammate that was nearby, and his fate's not too much brighter. It's just VSM to close out this first half of play. 1v5, and I tell you what, as good as VSM's been, you know, this might be one clutch too far. He's got that big dollar sign in the middle of his name, Mr. Moneybags. Can he find anything? Can he even make this round exciting? No, Junior just going to snipe him from afar, and it's 6-9 at the end of that first half. Furia, they do recover it somewhat, right? They've now given us a potential for an exciting game of Vertigo. Plano about to begin their T-side after this break. Don't go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss this.
Well, in the Brazilian grudge match between Furia and Plano, it is the plan that has drawn first blood. Furia will be looking to bounce back on their map pick right now.
Yeah, swapping over to that T side. Just one set of nade on Henny. Molly and a flash. 2 sets for Furia. Really just a kit. And I think that's a smoke on Vinny. Smoke HE on flash on Art. It's a slow round. Maybe just waiting to see if there's any potential push coming in from Fury here on the CT side, but isn't looking likely for Plano's end. Do have that nade set up probably to get the bomb down on A. Oh.
Yeah,
that's one way to clear an angle.
Yeah, that's a bit of an ouchie onto... Oh, did you see it? Did you see it? It was only for a second.
I missed it. I blinked and I missed it.
Swung by and went... Whoosh. Out goes Leo. Lights out for Leo. Ooh. Now, 4 on 5. Right, you might tag Queserato, but that just means he's a little problem for later on in the round. He's still waiting over here at the back left. KNG out in middle, dead to Art. So now this B play really does just come down to these 3 players moving in through ramp. Queserato is still waiting at the back of sight. Queserato, no. You needed to find something, my son. But instead, him and Art fall right away. And so suddenly, what was once looking like such a good round for FURIA has flipped on its head. The bomb is now planted. Plano, they get in without suffering a single casualty on these players pushing up ramp. And now we look at Junior and Yuri left alive in this retake. Smoking a kit on Junior. Yuri, if he can get up ramp, oh, he tries to play and take his time. Ends up getting sent out of the round, and Junior's just got to run for the hills. Plano, they grab the pistol, they take it, despite being a man down when that site push comes in.
That's both pistols for Plano this map so far then. You're right, it all comes down to just not hitting the shots. Queserato, fantastic position, we've made the read. No dangers from mid either, but Plano gets the better of him here. Here we see the sequence again. BSM opens up the map, or the bomb side rather.
Yeah, Junior saved armor smoke kit, but he almost died. He got gooshed there right as the round ended. He did live to tell the tale. That being said, not going to do much with this save as it is a full eco. This is where Junior can play for the Ninja if he's a mad lad, but he's already thrown the smoke down a ramp, so probably not realistic. I mean, it's the perfect Ninja setup, right? USP, armor kit, smoke. But really, in this round, it should be Plano just continuing to build. And at what point, Robin, do we get worried for FURIA, if not already?
I wouldn't be worried yet, right? I think that they did have a nice comeback there on that T side. Slow starter, if anything. But we know that they have a really good CT side also. I think I would start to worry if their A push does not work out. Basically, their bread and butter on this map. So if we see the first weapon round, and especially not really can't afford themselves a lot of mistakes here either, with the economy being so poor with not even the one pistol.
Well, the A push is what Plano expect. They wait till the minute mark before they finally set their foot on the wooden ramp.
Actually, Hugo, it's a round like this that I would worry about for FURIA. Just on a weapon round as well, Plano really taking their time here, right? Waiting for nades to be thrown and then come in. And we only saw one successful A execute round from FURIA. We'll see if Plano will be more successful with that on their weapon rounds. This one, as we stated, shouldn't be that much of a fight. It's only really art here and it's a B stack. Double nades coming in as well, so playing it safe on these eco rounds.
Even tapping the bomb. Not wanting to get smoke rushed.
You're also worried about a nade stack, right? Pretty like common eco round strat. You buy up some nades for that bomb plant, you lob them in. So taps that out. You know, man, this is a really good looking Plano. It feels like they're considering every possibility. They're leaving like no stone unturned in these executes. They're, you know, even planning ahead in terms of baiting out post-plant nades, or, you know, I guess bomb plant nades. Certainly a very, very good look for Plano. Yeah. Like, you know, considering this team, like, they get through the last phase, but there was a world in which, like, if a few rounds had gone differently, maybe they wouldn't even be here. So this kind of step up just goes to show you how much they're looking to take down this squad, and how now that they're going is getting tough, as it were. The tough are really trying to get going.
No AWP on FURIA. Queserato opting for the SMG, so he has a full set of nades. Junior with that AUG. We see that more and more nowadays. The AUG meta is coming back.
Yeah, we've seen even a lot of AUGs from Plano on a map like Nuke rather, on CT side, so FURIA aren't alone, but only one in this round. And again, the slow default from Plano, taking their time. If we watched any T-sides from this team, it's what we expect. They're good at pace changes, though. They can throw in a rush every now and then. That's a molly that killed Keserato in the first half. He uses it right back, but to get smoked instead, Leo will just stand in it. And in absolutely no hurry, Aro Plano in a round like this. They're barely even playing A. Only Henny there. They can always go back and join him. He does have the bomb. Waiting out any grenades that FURIA might have, and they have 3 smokes left up with a nade as well, so not really going to find a huge amount of use for those smokes other than dropping them on the short side or trying to one-way on ramp. This boost they've been running, but no one has walked up ramp yet, and they won't hold it forever. They want to check. Was there a flash? Was there anything?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't. They've still got their only flash. I'm not sure about that, Robin. Can you explain?
I think they faked. I think Plano did a small fake over at the B bomb side or something, or maybe in mid, and Art believes that it's, you know, a B and mid take. But yeah, very strange sequence there.
Wild.
Yeah,
Junior.
normally at least you tend to look out for a potential lurk, but not expecting that.
KNG is the
Look at
man
the time, though.
that could
Look
be in
at
like
the
a
time.
round-winning spot.
TikTok.
Like, with this aggression. Oh, he does need to watch. They deny. No, they don't deny the bomb plant, but still they deal with them. That's unfortunate for KNG. And
massive.
Junior, with 1 point of health, 1 HP being the difference, is able to lock that round in. That's a sad round for KNG, man. He got ahead of this short player. He got past Junior, and Junior didn't realize, right? And, you know, you saw him considering, like, well, do I push short to flush this guy out, or do I go looking for the rotation? He goes in search of the rotate player, misses the timing. Vinny had already crossed CT, was ready peeking the angle, so he kills the man planting the bomb. KNG, who had gone hunting for Vinny on this rotation, had to come back from elevator to try and get that trade, meaning he's a little out of position, he's a little late to the party. So ultimately a case of, you know, some unfortunate timings for KNG. It's one of those moments where a position that could have won you the round actually ends up costing you it.
Art's very thankful that Junior did win that, though, given how that round started for FURIA. Running out of patience.
Oh, gets the kill. I was gonna say, and look out for rounds like that as well. This is what we saw day 1 from Plano, right? Like being pretty bad on their timings on that B side. So sure, they get the bomb down there that round, but very slow round at that.
And KNG got into his opponent's spawn in 20 seconds. Art just double dinks him with the MP5, and Keserato trapped out, flashed out, and wall-banged by Leo. It's going to be a 3-on-3 now into B. Vinny is here alone. He's got that smoke to at least move up behind, playing the double boxes. Art still keeping mid under his control, or at least in consideration. Yuri's pushed all the way down as well to cut off the rotate. If Plano don't like what they see, they want to go back to A. That's not allowed. So they are committed. And FURIA don't want to move with things going very quiet. The double boost over the wood and the smoke is a cool idea. Nothing has been found, and the molly will make them go back. Now, if they want to hit A, they've got to leave right now, but it's in their best interest to go right forward into Vinny, and that's what he thinks too. Another kill for the favor of FURIA. Vinny gets flashed in for more, but he's dead. Henny with the entry. It's rather T-flash, leaving Art alone, waiting on his flank.
Yeah, Yuri is everything in this round. They've waited for him, but he jumps the gun. He gives up his position. Art dies, trying to capitalize on the fact that Yuri's pulled the attention away, and Henny goes one step further to close the round out. That's huge for Plano. And what a time to have Henny showing up, man. Versus his old team. You know, it was FURIA that he called a home for a good while there. Achieved a lot with this squad, you know, under the leadership of Art. Leaves to join Plano. A lot of people are wondering, you know, is that worth it? Is that a good move, Henny? Well, hell, man, they're looking to show us that it was a good move right here, right now. 12-7, an eco for FURIA. So 13 rounds, you know, should be as good as done.
Crazy. What a world we're in right now. It's FURIA's map pick of the series, and KNG just doesn't have any respect for them. He's walked up A, he's caught players with their back turned. Junior gets out, but Yuri won't suffer, or will suffer, rather, at the AK's hand. Bomb's going to get planted. Round is a lock-in at this point. It's only pistols, as said. And Plano not waiting around. They're even getting aggressive in that post plant, trying to take the CT control. Held back by their own teammates' utility, and KNG gets D'd by Art. That's a nice shot. And it makes Plano throw a little bit more respect the way of Furia. They back out, but all that means is this round is now impossible for Furia. They can't retake with such good post plants, so they will look to save that AK. Maybe send the pistols in to get some kills and take some money away from Plano. If you're Furia here, you're still thinking about the long game, right? You're still thinking about your next gun round. This one isn't over at 13-7 for them. But, boy, it's not far away.
Yeah, it's slowly creeping up, and at least one bonus is that Plano doesn't have that much money. They're going to have 4 members alive here, though, with bomb plants, so still requires more than one round to string together to kind of get them in a bad spot. And for Furia, I mean, money's not great. Junior's kind of forced to buy an AWP or glass cannon. Does have a smoke as well. But because of that, Furia hasn't been able to do these 8 takes that we kind of talk about, right? I wonder if we will see a timeout here just to see if we can get a change of pace. And it's not like Plano's doing anything special, right? They're just spreading out. They're running their very slow defaults, they're grouping together, and then they execute. And that's kind of what you get allowed, especially when you do have the money advantage. For CTs, you feel more comfortable doing these aggressive plays, knowing that you kind of have some extra money in your bank, so in case you lose a round, you can at least rebuy. A bit safer, but for Furia, you're not going to have that luxury, so you're still going to have to make a decision if you do want to go aggressive. And it's only 2 members here starting A.
Oh, here's one of those ramp takes, right? Art's going to give it a go, flashing himself through the short smoke, and Plano back up. They're smoked now, they're not in a hurry, as we've seen from this T side already. Throwing the lurk smoke in, but not sending anyone behind it. Art knows that now that's a bit of a fake, and he can send his team out. Looking elsewhere, Junior in middle with the AWP, finding Leo. KNG's going to walk out a little bit later here. Still more contact plays in mid. Plano have done a lot of these. No boost available with only 1 man here, but Junior's, again, on the angle, ready and waiting.
And look at the setup from Furia. It's going to be a really hard bomb site to hit here from Plano. 4 members will be real fast. Even Art has full control of A ramp also. It's the first from Yuri.
Really nice mollies as well. One on default, one on Tetris. K-Serato has nowhere to hide. Vinny's moving in. There's a bit of a timing. There's a gap in that smoke. He's walked through. And lots of damage. Bomb dropped again. And it's VSM to trade onto Junior. He doubles up. He's making this round interesting still. 30 seconds. Forget the plant. It's all about frags. Yuri's here offering pressure. And a Molotov has come in. They don't know there's both players, though. They're still considering the flank. When that AWP fires off, that'll be all the info they need. Yuri's so low, and eventually, with Furia not giving these kills over, Plano either have to get aggressive or plant the bomb. They're going for the former. Look at the fight. VSM hunting these players, jumping the AWP, and all the info now for Plano. They've recovered this round despite the advantage for Furia and all of the info in the world. Yuri, 10 health.
VSM's on for the ace. If he gets Yuri here, he's done it. He's aced Furia to find 14 and break the money. VSM dead to Yuri, and now a chance in the 1v1. Henny, his old mate, and he's going to do it to him with the USP.
What?
The defuse is in for Furia, and Yuri, are you really going to do Henny like that? The dream is still alive. 8 is up on the board. The money is kept in check, and it's all on the back of that low HP Yuri fella.
He knew he couldn't reload. Yeah, I don't know how he does that. He double digs. He knew he couldn't reload. He was trapped green. See the frustration there, and then just bop. My goodness.
Oh man, I was gonna say even for Plano, I think they're playing so well. We see there, yeah, they don't know where the last member is. They don't even plant. It's a bit risky, right? But they're feeling it. You can tell. Rather go for the gunfights. Makes it a 1-on-2 with Yuri at 12 HP. I mean, unwinnable, he said. 2 nice shots, and it's a fast mid take for Plano. Lucas is the only one with the deagle though, but he gets himself an upgrade now for the kill on Junior.
What's happening? Vinny's throwing nades. KNG runs right past him for about 10 seconds before he realized, and Art finally activates, but he's flashed out by Vinny, so it's not gone well for Furia, and it's getting worse by the second. This CT side tumbling down, and a 1-on-4 for Yuri. He just pulled out a massive clutch, but safe to say this one does not look like a repeat.
No, definitely not. Goes back to, I said it, for some reason, Furia seems a little bit off, right, when it comes to their individuals. Maybe not used to the aggression from Plano, or even the fact that they are shooting back to this extent. But really hitting their timings really nicely here as well, Plano. This is a fast round, obviously. Been playing their T sides pretty slow. Been averaged at least over the minutes. This one, Lucas only has a deagle, runs up mid, gets the first kill onto Junior there, really opens up the map. Yeah, VSM is just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. And he's just popping heads.
I know it's so early in the day, in the game, and everything, but man, if Plano win this series, they go on to face Pain. If you can beat Furia, right, you can hopefully beat Pain, right? Like, obviously, Pain are on the up and up, definitely, but, right, let's just presume that. And Plano, who we were kind of not really that impressed with, even in their early wins v Triumph in the last phase, like, they're hunting for the major. They could be getting there right now. They could be going first out in their group, or first through, rather, not out. And that would leave, by the way, the losers match of this group, Furia v EG. What a world we're in if this continues.
Yeah. And for this phase, only one team gets eliminated per group.
Yeah.
We have 3 that goes through, top 2 in the winner bracket, and then the third down to lower brackets. So to your point here, Hugo, right? That's a big matchup, not having the potential Furia or EG. You expect them to at least make the next stage, even if it is in the lower bracket.
Yeah, right, with 6 out of 8 teams going through, you would expect out of those 6, well, the 4 invited teams for sure, right? Furia, EG. Well, actually, I said Extremum, maybe not as much as a solid argument there, especially from what we saw yesterday, but I didn't have 2 of them going out through. We'll see, though. It's again, it's so early days. Like, I know it's Furia's map pick. We got Mirage coming up after. That's somewhere where Furia are capable as well. But right now, this is more than impressive for Plano. They're walking up B. Leo with the bomb. He might have been spotted here, but there's not much of a rotate. Junior's kill KNG. Meanwhile, Leo just exploding and running around the corner, pre-firing. He needs the cover to plant the bomb, but Vinny not going to be able to stop that happening. Not even stopping VSM, who is on a tear right now. Another opener. 4-on-3. Oh dear, they're throwing in the towel.
I mean, I can see it, right?
Yeah.
3-on-4 next round as well. You were playing for a tie, but like, no, with the money that you're at for Furia, why not take the gamble and hopefully get 7 rounds in a row and take this to overtime? But I mean, even there, right? Like, we see it. Like, Plano's timing is really well. Even walking up to B there, we don't see the peaks necessarily from Furia. And then once we do get spotted, then it's just run and gun, right? Let's take the bomb site. Hit the headshots at the same time. We mentioned VSM, Leo, DRK. Fantastic performance from him as well.
And we've not even seen, like, you know, the meta of just going for these slow A attacks. You mentioned, oh, well, it'll be over when Furia can't win their, you know, A aggro rounds. Well, firstly, they've not really been doing it.
They haven't done it, yeah. They haven't had the money.
No one's even there. No one's... Plano are playing A. They respect the smoke. They leave one guy there to, you know, sell a bit of a fake. KNG's, like, lurking a lot, getting info for his team, going A, going mid, walking out on his own. But it's been B execute after B execute here for this T side.
Yeah, but I think it's also like, here we see an aggressive play from Art, that's nice. I think it's also not necessarily getting the payout from playing A aggressive, but it's also just the information play, right? Kind of like leaving one guy banana on Inferno, having a chance to play 2B, 2 mid. It's very strong, right? But Furia, yeah, they haven't had a chance to kind of do that. So while Plano, yeah, been playing this very safe, right? They haven't had a lot of quick rounds where they're just going for gunfights. They're literally just running down the clock, having Furia answer to them.
Oh, this is massive, though. If K-Serata activates, he's in no hurry, and I don't blame him with what we've been seeing out of this T side, but he has just caught 3 players leaving B. They're grouping A. He's told Vinny to rotate, but Vinny actually is still at the B stairs despite this aggro. He knows if this flank dies and they can explode into B, but Vinny is now leaving as more ground is gained on the flank. K-Serato timing it well, but he needs to go eventually. It's just been so quiet all round. Little does he know, they're at top ramp right now. They're walking onto the A site. Double short setup, and here come Plano. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, and in a way, right, that player surviving, getting back into short. Well, now you're going to... Art just got wall banged out. Also, that wasn't the short player. That was not the short player they thought it was. Yeah. Yuri still alive on the short side. The bomb isn't getting planted yet. They're still looking for this man in the back. Yuri dies. The bomb not down. K-Serato arriving late. Oh my god! K-Serato tries to steal it away. You couldn't have asked for him to do more there, but it is Plano taking this map. The map pick of FURIA, no less. And doesn't that make this series exciting? Plano, oh, the future might be looking bright. Join us in just a minute. We'll be back with that second map, so don't go anywhere.